It appears that Facebook has been cracking down not on the right wing, but on the left, using its algorithm to shut down traffic to left-wing pages and boost traffic to conservative pages. So now we find this out from the Wall Street Journal, which is not necessarily a liberal rag. So that it's actually quite interesting that the Wall Street Journal will talk about this. So now the example that they use in throttling traffic to left-wing websites is Mother Jones. Now, the Wall Street reported that CEO Mark Zuckerberg had approved plans to change the algorithm to reduce the visibility of left-leaning news sites like Mother Jones on the platform. Now, of course, Facebook is rejecting this already. They reject the story. They say, "Oh no, we're not, we didn't actually pick favorites. No, we weren't boosting right-wing sites as a result of course, the right wing being super loud and saying." Oh, Facebook is liberal biased and all that. And so it's not fair. Zuckerberg still, again, as a result of that, that campaign, basically, decided to try to boost right-wing pages. And throttle, like I said, left-wing pages. And so now, according to the Wall Street Journal, policy executives at Facebook had voiced concerns in 2017 about pending changes to the newsfeed algorithm that they thought might have a large impact on right-leaning news sites like the Daily Wire. So the engineers made changes to the algorithm that would have had a bigger impact on traffic to left-leaning sites. And of course, as a result, you had more traffic going to the right wing and less traffic going to the left wing. And it was, again, signed off personally by Mark Zuckerberg. So now a Facebook spokesperson told the Wall Street Journal, "We did not make changes with the intent of impacting individual publishers." So now the Mother Jones example, notice how they say, well, we didn't go after Mother Jones specifically. No, but you went after left-leaning pages like Mother Jones. Just because you didn't single them out specifically to shut down Mother Jones doesn't mean that you didn't also impact left-leaning pages on Facebook. And so notice how they don't really address that at all. Okay? And so the thing is, again, Mother Jones is a great example of what happens when you do this. Now, the editors wrote that the site had seen a sharp decline in its Facebook audience back in 2019. So now, as a result, they lost in revenue around $600,000 over the next 18 months after the algorithm change. So let me show you just an image of this, right? So here it is. That's a graph. You can see rising 2014, 2015, 16, gigantic spike in 17. Algorithm changes came, and then you've had a decline. So interesting that we see. So Mother Jones responded to this, by the way, this report. This is CEO Monica Barlin tweeted that she and others at the publication did not think that the site was specifically targeted at first. And she said, "One reason this is so enraging is that I've so long insisted on giving Facebook some benefit of the doubt. I was convinced that we were a random casualty of their broader trajectory, a fly in their windshield, but it's always, always worse." Well, she's right about that. It is worse. Facebook right now is a conservative haven. The thing is, again, they've gotten priority. They're considered to be fact checkers, the arbiters of truth on this particular platform. And let me show you how bad it's gotten. Of the top 50 news stories from U.S. publishers, 15 were from the Daily Caller, Fox News, Daily Wire, and Breitbart. There are no progressive sites that hit the top 50 stories. They just don't. All other new U.S. newspapers, magazines, and broadcasting cable networks combined accounted for another 16 of the top stories. The rest were things like TMZ and Lad Bible. And so stuff that's not even really news. Just tabloidy stuff. And so no left-leaning news, no, secular talk, no TYT, nothing even approaching left wing gets into that feed, into that top tier. And it's not because the left wing isn't popular, it's because Facebook rigged the game, rigged the algorithm. And not only have we seen that on Facebook, we've also seen this on other platforms as well. We've seen this on YouTube, where, of course, left-leaning YouTube channels get stifled, don't grow, don't get recommended as much as right-wing conservative pages. And so you have that. Now, I think it's gotten a little bit better since it was in 2016. And then, of course, YouTube has made some controversial decisions on banning certain channels, for example, like Alex Jones. And so I think they're trying to not appear to be conservative biased, but Facebook is not doing any such thing. Facebook continues to double down and to continue supporting their conservative pages and elevating them to higher positions. And so that is a big problem, especially when you're battling literal fake news, which conservative sites, again, having a conservative opinion is not the problem here. It's actually crafting and engineering fake stories. That is the big issue here. And when your publisher, when your platform decides to elevate that and not give an equal hearing to the other side, that gets to be a big problem. And it's a problem that should be fixed, that needs to be fixed. And I'm not exactly sure how we're going to do it. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.